Hello grade 8s and welcome back to WorksheetCloud. I'm Mrs. Goslet, this is grade 8 English, and thank you so much for joining me. We've been doing parts of speech, and if you want to catch up, please go back and watch the videos. If you have any questions during the lesson, write it down and then email us at grade8@worksheetcloud.com. I'm here because I love to teach and I absolutely love my subject, English. I didn't know I wanted to be a teacher until I was in grade 11 or grade 12. In grade 11, we had to do for life orientation a community service project. Or it was actually, it was something like that. And so I went to a creche because I thought, oh, I love children and I know my passion is with children. I didn't know what age, and I discovered at the creche that that age was definitely not for me. I didn't know I actually wanted to teach high school until I went to university. So I went to Stellenbosch University where I got my degree, and there you have to do practicals. So I went into primary school and I did my practical then. I really enjoyed it. I loved grade 4 and the kids were really cute. I just didn't enjoy teaching all the subjects. Then I went to high school and I absolutely loved it. I taught grade 8 and grade 9 and I just found my place and I said, this is what I want to do. So that's my story of how I became a teacher. I think when I was younger, let's go 10, 11, 12, I wanted to become a vet. But I realized very soon that my subjects and I was not, it's like becoming a doctor. You have to be on it. And I realized you have to put animals down. I wanted to help animals, so I knew that was not for me. So animals and people were my passion. I used to horse ride, so when I was younger, that's all I wanted to do and be, and I thought being a vet, I can see horses and ride horses. But I grew up and I became a teacher, and I'm very, very happy with that choice. So again, I spoke to you about the emailing. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm sure you guys have an idea of what you want to become one day, and I always love chatting to my learners about their dreams and what they want to be one day or what they want to go into. And I always find that quite fascinating. Obviously we can't chat, but I just thought I'd share my story a little bit with you. So we've been doing parts of speech. I didn't put the wheel up today because I thought you might get a bit sick of seeing that wheel, but just to recap, we've done nouns, pronouns, verbs. Yesterday or whenever we did adverbs, and today we're going to be looking at adjectives. Now I quite like adjectives because they spice it up. They tell us more. They don't just say, oh, that girl is wearing a dress. What color is the dress? Is the dress pretty? It tells us more. So if you want to grab a pen or piece of paper and you want to write down a few notes, you're most welcome to do so. So what is an adjective, grade 8s? An adjective is a word which adds color. So just like I was telling you about that dress, I want to know more. Because if I'm reading a book, like I told you guys to start doing, you don't want to you need that imagination. You need to picture what this character looks like. So it adds color, shape, size, strength, feeling, or other quality to a noun or pronoun. And adjectives are so important when you are writing because you need to explain and express what this whole image and the picture you're trying to paint in your writing. Then if they ask you for a function, but they don't normally, but it's always good to know, it's to qualify, and I forgot to bracket off describe. So qualify is just a fancier way of saying describe. So it's describing a noun or pronoun. So the noun is dress, or handbag, and now we need to tell more pretty handbag, pretty dress. The adjective is pretty. Okay, here's an example. So now it's telling us about this man. The man, noun, was wearing, verb, auxiliary verb, a striped jersey, telling us more about the jersey, so it's striped, jersey, noun, a green cap, the green is the adjective telling us more about the noun, which is a cap, woolly gloves, woolly is an adjective telling us more about the gloves, and a large mask, large, that's the size, over his face. So if we go back quickly and we look at color, shape, size, all of that, you can see it come to light in this example. Striped, green, woolly, large. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand an adjective a bit better. Now remember, in a test or exam, we always ask you for the part of speech, adjective, and then you must give the type. So the most common type is descriptive. It's telling us more about the noun. It's describing it. Okay, so that one's important to know, but it's also very easy to remember. Then the rest is important, but this last one I want you to note that they will ask this in a separate question. It will probably be in the language section where they refer to the hyphen and they want to know the function. So remember, what is the function of a hyphen? It forms or creates a compound adjective. Okay. So I've seen quantity come up. I've seen order come up. And if the teacher wants to be horrible, then possessive will come up. Possessive is a very difficult one to identify. But it's okay, I'm going to try and help you remember it. So let's get into it. Right, the first one's descriptive. We've done most of these examples. So let's look. The Karoo is dry, dusty, and beautiful. So it's telling us, describing the qualities of the noun. Okay, the Karoo is the noun. It's the name of a place. So it's actually a proper noun. And it's telling me it's dry, it's dusty, and it's beautiful. Now this could be a little bit tricky, but let's look at it. Proper adjectives are adjectives formed from proper nouns. Okay, so if I look at the word French, why is it a proper noun? What is the definition of a proper noun? Can you remember? So French is a name of a place, like Cape Town, or South African, or I'm trying to think of more names. They're not coming to me. But anyway, so if I refer to South Africa as a place, then it's a proper noun. But remember the job of an adjective. So if we go back, you have to always remember, what is the job of an adjective? It's telling us more about a noun. So, just hang on there for me, okay? French wines are very popular all over the world. So it's not saying the French people are, or the French, the country. Let's go. Yeah, I'll get a better example. So it's telling us more about this wine. It's not just saying wine, because you get many different types of wine and they are produced all over the world. So it's a proper adjective, French, telling us more about the wine. So just remember that they are adjectives telling us more about that noun. So it says French wines are very popular all over the world. French qualifies, describes the noun wine, tells us more about the wine. Then an adjective of quantity or number. These deal with the number of something. So here's an example. She invited 5 friends for breakfast. So it's telling us about the noun friends. How many friends did she bring? 5. Okay, so that's quite an easy one. We're just looking at quantity or number. Then order, adjective of order. These describe the position of someone or something. So he came last in the first race. So can you see the order is last and first? Okay, so it's telling us more about where he came. And how many races did he do? That was the first heat or first race. Then demonstrative or demonstrative, either way you can say it. These point out the noun or the pronoun. Okay, so it's important not to get confused with the pronoun types. This is adjectives we're doing. That man stole this handbag. So you see the noun man and you see the noun handbag. It's telling us more. So that and this is pointing out the noun. Okay, so that man, this handbag. Adjective. Remember to please spell possessive with 4 S's. So it's P-O-S-S-E-S-S. Sometimes you guys leave out an S, so that's important to spell it correctly. Now, possessive adjectives show ownership of the noun or the pronoun. So let's look at this example. My computer is in my study. So the noun, computer, the noun, study. So the possessive adjective is my. It's telling us more about the computer. It's my computer is in my study. Key to remember, and I'll go on a little bit later about it. It's not replacing a noun. Remember, that's what pronouns do. They replace. This is telling us more about the noun. Therefore, telling us more is describing. It's descriptive. It's an adjective. It's possessive because it's my. That's showing ownership. Interrogative or interrogative, however you want to say it, they both are right. These adjectives ask questions. Again, it must be an adjective. Don't get confused with pronouns. Pronouns replace nouns. Which hat do you prefer? So can you see that there's a question? So ask yourself, which qualifies the noun? Hat. So the answer is which. There's the noun hat. So it's telling us more about the hat and it's asking a question, which hat? So that's why it is interrogative. This is the one they love to ask, or we love to ask this, but not in a table format. So this is NB, NB, NB. You have to know this one. So compound adjectives are adjectives joined by hyphens, and these are known as compound adjectives. Remember I taught you nouns, compound nouns. Now we are looking at compound adjectives. So if we look at the example, a feather light cake. Feather light is telling us more. It is describing the cake. I don't know if they mean when you eat it, it's so moist, or when you carry it, it's just light. I think the second one sounds a bit better. So again, I'm going to remind you, the way they ask this question, they will say, give the function of the hyphen in this sentence. And the function of the hyphen is, I hope you're saying it with me, it forms, remember we've got to have our verb there, or creates a compound adjective. This is an adjective because it's telling us more about the cake. It's compound because it's two words that are joined together by a hyphen. Okay, grade 8, so if you can please remember this one for me, you will make me so proud because they love, and we will ask this even in grade 10, 11, and 12. So it's not that you're just going to learn it and you're going to forget about it and then we're not going to ask it. It will come up. Now remember I said I was going to try and help you remember possessive adjectives. So let's just look at it. And this is why it's such a tricky one. And that's why I said teachers are a little bit horrible or trying to test your thinking skills if they ask you to identify this one. So possessive adjectives, and here are some examples. Remember we did the my one, my study, my computer. Your, her, his, its, our, their. They are often confused with pronouns because if you look at it, they're pronouns. They're replacing the noun. Okay, so if we look at her, give the name. Alison. If I want to replace that noun, that proper noun, I'm going to do it with the pronoun she, her. But now I'm telling you that that's an adjective, so it can be a bit confusing. But I've got here, think logically. So thinking logically will help you to remember the difference. And if you want to write this down, maybe put it up on your wall, recite it, study it, because then you will be so prepared when they ask you this question. So let's look at the adjectives. Adjectives definition, their role. Tell us more about a noun. Okay, so remember they're telling us more. Just think about that dress. Pretty, dress. Dress is a noun. Pretty is telling us more about the noun. So look here. Her car. Car is a noun, telling us whose car it is. That's a possessive adjective. It's their child. Child is a noun, telling us more. Whose child is it? It's their child. Their is showing ownership. It's possessive. And lastly, his homework. Homework is a noun. Look at before. It's telling us about the ownership. It's his. It's not replacing someone's name. Now look at the bottom one. I really hope you're getting this. Pronouns. Pronouns replace nouns. Now look at the difference. The car is hers. The car is Alison's. So this is a pronoun because it is replacing Alison. The homework is Jonathan's. That is a pronoun. It is replacing the noun Jonathan. The child is theirs. Okay, maybe it's John and Sue. Theirs. I really hope that I explained that thoroughly and that you understand the difference and you know now what a possessive adjective is. It can be a bit tricky. Then I actually left out a slide. I completely forgot about the comparison of adjectives. So you would have heard about positive, comparative, and superlative. And those, positive is, let me think of an example. John is short. That's the positive. We're looking at short. It's telling us more about John. It's describing him that he is short. Sorry, John. Now, that's positive. Now in a test or exam, they could ask you, please change short, the adjective short, into the comparative degree. Then you must know, ER. I'm adding ER. So it would read, I'm going to sneeze, I'm really sorry. No, it's not going. Allergies. It's not fun. Okay. Sorry about that. Where was I? John is short. Comparative to John is shorter than Tamsin. 2 people, shorter, ER. Now we do 3. John is the shortest in the class. Class has a lot of people. Okay, so comparative to superlative 3. They could trick you. When there are a few more syllables, like beautiful, you can't say she is beautifuler. That's wrong. Okay, grade 8s, you know it. She is more beautiful than Princess Sophia. Sorry, Princess Sophia. Then if there are more princesses in the castle, she is the most beautiful princess in the castle. We're not going to say beautifulest. And that's just an English rule when there are 3 or more syllables. Beautiful. Okay. Then another one that you all know, you don't say so you start off with the positive. He is a good athlete. But you don't say he is a gooder athlete. And you don't say he is the goodest athlete. What do we say, grade 8s? You all know it. He is a better athlete than John. Poor John. I'm just sorry about that. And lastly, the superlative degree, we want to say is the best in the school. Oh, I just said it. Who was my example? Anyway, I just said he. He is the best athlete at whatever high school. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Sometimes they ask that question, can be in the language section. They can throw in, change the degree to the comparative or the superlative. They don't ask positive, they normally give you the positive because that is short, good, beautiful. Alright, so today we learned about adjectives. Tomorrow we're going to do some prepositions, and then we are almost done. Then we've just got conjunctions left, if I think I'm correct, but that does sound right. If you have any questions, and if you just want to tell me what is your favorite topic in English so I can maybe do that for you, please let me know at grade8@worksheetcloud.com. I'm Mrs. Goslet. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.